In 2015, Adidas introduced the world to the Ultra Boost, billing it as the best running shoe ever. Nearly 2 years later, it remains popular both among athletes and style-oriented casual wearers. The best colorways have been the simple ones, such as this core black pair. Let's take a look.
Hey all, Reese here, and I've got a brand new sneaker video to bring you. What we're looking at today is a shoe that I've actually been sitting on for a couple months, just didn't have time to put a video out. This is the Adidas Ultra Boost in black, silver, and white. Now the Adidas Ultra Boost first debuted in early 2015, so I really have no excuse to be coming to you almost 2 years later with the video. By all accounts, this is an incredible shoe, both from a lifestyle and from a running perspective, but we'll get into all of that. So Adidas introduced the Ultra Boost in the first couple months of 2015, billing it as the best running shoe ever. That's an incredibly lofty claim to make, but they really did a lot here to innovate in the field of running and also to create an incredibly exciting flagship product that could really sell the power of Boost cushioning. Now at the time that these were released, Boost cushioning was past its infancy. I think it had been around for about a year and a half to 2 years, but they were able to improve it even more, starting with the Ultra Boost. They actually changed up their manufacturing technique slightly and were able to remove some of the extra materials that were included in the midsole. You know, you didn't just have these Boost capsules, but so they removed some of those extra materials, and as a result, we're able to get more Boost material included, and so you get more of the cushioning and more of the responsiveness that goes along with this pretty revolutionary midsole cushioning system. And so on top of that, they built out the upper of the shoe using Prime Knit, which, similar to Nike's Flyknit, is a really breathable material that works almost like a sock. You know, it moves really well with the feet. It doesn't have a lot of pinching or binding or some of the defects that you get with other materials that just don't move as naturally with your foot. To round things out, they used a stretch web outsole, and the idea with that stretch web is that it would really, again, like the Prime Knit upper, be really flexible and be able to move with the way your foot moves, so that the shoe wasn't in any way holding back your running ability, your running form, or anything like that. Now, one of the biggest downsides to these, especially the earlier versions, and I'll talk about what I mean by that in a minute, was the fact that the rubber that they used for the outsole was not incredibly durable. And so I remember reading, even back just the first month or two after these came out, and reviewers who were runners were putting 25 to 50 miles on them and finding that the outsole was wearing down incredibly quickly. And so that's actually one of the biggest reasons why I held off purchasing a pair of these for a while. I was originally going to get a pair to run in, but some of those durability questions just with the outsole made me hold off. Now, this is what is considered version 1, or the Ultra Boost 1.0. I got these, I think, in March of 2016, and by around May or June, Adidas started releasing pairs that have been dubbed the Ultra Boost 2.0, and that's not something you see super strongly in Adidas advertising. They still just call them the Ultra Boost. It's not like a true successor model. If you look at the box, you can't tell which version the shoe is, but basically they took the exact same design and made a couple small improvements that really help with the overall running features of the shoe. The first thing they did was they revamped the Prime Knit upper a little bit, and I'm not sure of the specifics there, but they basically wanted to make it even more flexible and make it work a little bit better with the foot. I've actually heard about some people who have complaints with these kind of the original or the 1.0 Ultra Boost, where they have just a little bit of discomfort near the edges of the front of the foot. So Adidas was working to fix things like that. They also, the other big change is they did revamp the outsole. We can talk a little bit more about that in the close-up view, and I'll kind of show you where some of the things they changed are, but they use now a continental rubber, and so I haven't heard great reports or not that I haven't heard great reports, but I haven't heard really one way or the other whether the revamped outsole is a little bit better for durability. So if you have any experience with that, definitely let me know, because that is one of the biggest reasons why I've not yet run in a pair of these. But with all that said, let's dive into the close-up view and we can kind of go through what's going on with this particular colorway, and also I'll go through some of the differences and updates with the 1.0 to the 2.0. Here we go with a close-up look at the Adidas Ultra Boost 1.0 in the core black colorway. One of the things I love about Prime Knit, as well as Nike's comparable Flyknit, is that the one-piece knit upper really gives you the ability to throw in some interesting touches. Like, for example, you can see there's a lot of gray in here, even though this is technically an all-black shoe, and from far away it does look like it's just one color, but that knit material lets you kind of add in a little bit of personality. And so you see this a lot on Prime Knit as well as Flyknit, where you just have a couple extra colors, or they change up the shade slightly to just give it a little more of an interesting look versus just a true single color. Now you'll notice there's kind of this black outline of an arrow on the toe box, and what's happening inside of there is the material is knit together in a much looser pattern. You can kind of see some of the holes there, and this allows for much more breathability. You know, the top of the foot is an area where they don't need a lot of extra support. That's not like a high wear area of the shoe, and so it's the perfect place to use this knitting technique to really open it up and let some of that heat escape while you're running. To contrast that, we can see right here around the toe box, kind of at the edge, you've got this really tightly knit section of all black yarn, where you've got those areas where, you know, as you're running, your foot kind of is expanding to the side and hitting the front of the shoe, and so those are kind of high impact areas, and so by knitting that a little bit tighter, you add durability as well as some structural support from the shoe. Now the tongue has more of the open, breathable knitting going on. At the top, you've got the Adidas 3 Stripes logo in a 3M black material. The laces are pretty thin, black with silver tips. On the side of the shoe, you've got these fairly flexible plastic or rubbery 3 stripes that just add a little bit of extra support to the shoe. Now, some people, especially people who wear these casually, have actually just removed the 3 stripes to create kind of an uncaged Ultra Boost. And actually, Adidas has released multiple colorways of the uncaged Ultra Boost where they just come straight from the factory without the 3 stripes. So if you don't love the look of that, there are other options for you. Here at the back, we've got more of just like a traditional mesh material in all black. You've got some pretty decent padding, you can see right there. And then the tail is kind of angled up a little bit, so it's easy to get these on. Back behind the tongue, it says Boost along with your tongue tag. And then inside, you're not gonna be able to see it very well, but on the insole, which is all black, it says Ultra Boost. And then below that, it says Endless Energy, which is just kind of like the catchphrase related to Boost technology. Then back here on the heel cup, might be a little hard to see, but you've got Ultra in black and Boost in silver. One of the big visual changes of this particular colorway of the 1.0 versus the 2.0 is that the Ultra is in silver and the Boost is in gold on the 2.0 pair. That about wraps it up for the outsole. So now we'll take a look at that Boost midsole. It looks a lot like styrofoam packaging, but obviously it's a lot more durable than that. The durability, like I said, the only issue I've really heard about is just the outsole wearing down. Boost itself seems to hold up really well, and I haven't heard any bad things about it in terms of over time, you know, it still seems pretty responsive. I know that's one of the things with Nike's lunar cushioning, is that over time that can really kind of compress to the point where it doesn't really return to its original shape. I'm assuming that will be a problem, you know, at some point, you know, for any technology like this, but I have not heard people complaining about it yet with Ultra Boost, so that's definitely something good to hear, or I guess not hear. So here we've got that stretch web outsole. Again, this does not feature the Continental rubber. On the pairs that do, which are the V2, will actually say Continental right up there. But so the idea again is that this really, you know, flexes pretty well with the foot along with the Prime Knit. So and just works with your foot as you're running. You can see a lot of places where the boost kind of peeks through. And so one thing to note is that these little like ridges or little knobs are all rounded off. You can see them kind of like at every intersection here. And one thing that was different on the 2.0 along with a slightly different rubber is that they actually just flatten those off straight from the factory. Wearing these just even casually, those will flatten off pretty quickly, just because of the basically when those are still rounded, those are the only thing that are making contact with the ground, and so it's just pretty big wear points. And then right here you've got a little window into some boost, and then more of a stability torsion system, and then in a volt or a bright lime green, it does say torsion system right there. That'll kind of catch. I also have seen, I'm not too sure what all the differences are, but I've seen other people with a V1 pair of the core black colorway where this is actually orange. So I'm not sure if there are any other differences. I haven't been able to tell for sure. Because again, Adidas is weird. They don't like make it super clear which version you have and everything like that. With all that said, that about wraps it up for the Ultra Boost review. I'm really excited to start wearing these now. I know a lot of people have had probably multiple pairs and love them, but definitely let me know in the comments what you think of the Ultra Boost. Do you run in them? Do you just wear them casually? Anything you'd like to let me know about the shoe, definitely drop it in the comment below. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video and like my channel. And thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day.